Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Leslie. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am making a layout using the Horizon collection from Paige Evans, Pink Paisley. And I'm going to be using those two pages, the pink gradient paper and then this butterfly and moth paper. And I'm going to do quite a lot of fussy cutting for this layout. I'm not going to make you watch all of the fussy cutting. But I had a couple of ideas. Firstly, I cut out all the pink butterflies and sort of placed them on the gradient paper, but there weren't enough butterflies and the effect didn't quite, it didn't quite have the effect that I was hoping for. So then I cut out all of the other colors, and you can see at the top of the screen there, most of the other, well, all of the other colors that there is on the butterfly paper. And I had this idea of placing the butterflies either in a circle or something around my page. So I've had this Heidi Swapp color shine in my stash for a while, the white, and I've never used it. I've never seen anybody else really using it, especially the white. Well, only the white. I mean, I see lots of other people using the other colors, but the white is very muted. It's not a very opaque stark white. It has this translucency to it, and it's very matte, so it doesn't have that effect of white acrylic paint, but it does do the job for this layout. I like the fact that it's a bit of a muted white. It's not so stark, so I tried to splat the splatters in the shape of a heart. So I'm just going to be adding my butterflies as much as I can randomly around the shape of the heart, and I'm trying to get the colors spread out as evenly as possible, and a little bit of purple on the right and then a little bit of purple on the left. I'm trying to get all the colors nicely spread out. I didn't want too much blue on one side and then there's not any blue on the other side, and so on. So I'm going to be fussing around with that heart for a little bit. I'm also going to be using the Maggie Holmes, those little, from Willow Lane, those little tassel bows from Willow Lane, because they matched perfectly. The yellow and the pink and that sort of burnt orange color worked really well with the colors of the butterflies and moths in this collection, in the Horizon collection at least. So I brought out some of the ephemera. Now, it's important to realize that I only have the paper pad and the one ephemera pack for this collection. I was late to the game and I missed out on all the goodness at scrapbook.com, and at all the other shops were all sold out. So I had to wait, and then I missed out again. And so the only bits that were left that I could find was the ephemera pack and the 12 by 12 paper pack. But I have since then, been able to source the rest of the Horizon collection from different shops. And I mean, you guys must know it's quite a mission to get stuff here to Dubai. I pay double what you guys pay for for scrapbooking stuff. Because of just the shipping, to get the shipping here and and all of that. So I'm going to be using these two little photos of Lucy, and I have scrapped them before. You guys, if you followed me for a while, you know that I have no issue with scrapping something twice or three times or however many times I like. So I'm scrapping those photos. She's about 2 weeks old there, and I'm using the frames in the ephemera pack just to frame those photos and sort of place them on top of each other. And what am I thinking? Sorry. I'm going to be popping up every second butterfly on some foam squares, and then every first butterfly I am just going to be sticking down flat on the paper, and then you'll get a lot of lovely dimension. I'm able to overlap the butterflies pretty easily, and so on. So there's a few little butterfly pieces in the ephemera pack, so I'm using that little, what do you call that thing, dragonfly. I'm using little dragonfly. There's another little pink butterfly and a blue butterfly from the ephemera pack I'm going to be using as well. So this does take me a little while. I think I've left most of this process in for you guys because, you know, once I sped it up, it wasn't too long in any case. So I'm going to be using those hearts as well as those little banners. The one on the left says Wanderlust, and that's the pink banner, and then the green banner on the right says Loving This. So this is basically just a very colorful, embellishment rich little layout that I made, and there's no rhyme or reason to this really. It was just to get as much color on this layout as possible, as on this paper as possible. And also I really wanted to do something special with these butterflies. I didn't, you know, as soon as I saw that piece of paper, I knew, I mean, it just, those butterflies have to be fussy cut. So and here, this is just a testament to tell you guys that you don't need the entire collection to make a layout with, you know, that looks like it's got the entire collection. I mean, I only have the paper pad and one ephemera pack, and it looks, you know, it's very embellishment rich, it's very full, there's lots of color in it, and it's all because I did some fussy cutting. And now I know there's some of the ladies, always when I say I love fussy cutting, there's always somebody remarking in the comment section if they send their fussy cutting to me, will I fussy cut it for them? No. Sorry. But, you know, it's just, if you don't like doing it, then, you know, try something else. You know, you don't have to do it in so much detail. You can cut it with a little white border around it. I fussy cut, sorry, in quite a lot of detail. I go around all of the swirly bits of the butterflies and the twirly bits and the ins and the outs, and it did take me quite a long time, but in the end it looks really awesome. And that is the little pink piece of the ephemera pack, and you can see that the ephemera has a little white border, and the bits that are fussy cut has no white border on it. So yes, now I'm just thinking of what else can I do to this layout. It needs something. So I pulled out this paper also from the paper pad, this scalloped or the shell paper, and I thought I could frame my layout on that paper. And I'm just going to be ripping the edges of my layout. Now some of the rips went a bit hectic, like there. It was like it ripped a bit much. But I love the effect that that gives. And I also like the fact that the inside of this paper is white. So if you, yeah, see my ripping there is not, it's not on par. But there you go. I got it right in any case. So I like the fact that the white of the paper also acts as a little border between the pink and the very colorful bit that paper that I'm going to be backing this entire layout on. Now I've seen lots of people using this shell scalloped piece of paper for backing of a cut file. You can do that as well. I didn't really know what I would use for that paper, or to, you know, what I would make with it. So I love the fact that I could use it for to frame a layout. And doesn't that look awesome? The yellows are brought out in the frame, the greens are brought out, the oranges, the blues, and it completes the layout for me. So the last little bit I'm going to be doing, I'm adding my little enamel dots. Now those are just dots I got from a stationery shop here in Dubai. They're nothing special, but the colors matched perfectly. So I'm just going to be scattering them very haphazardly around my little heart shape. And that is going to be it for this layout. I would just like to thank all of my lovely subscribers for all the love. And if you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. And yes, I'll see you again soon. Bye.